Now, everybody and their mothers have made a video on this whole scenario here the past weekend, so I'm sure you've heard what's been going down lately. But I wanted to make my own video on it because I think I could give a unique perspective on the situation given my past. So, if you haven't heard of what's been going down lately, I'll speed run a quick lore breakdown for you. So, there's this channel called Watcher, and they recently made a video about how they were leaving YouTube, and they were putting all their future content behind a paywall of like $5 a month. Now, what really put people's titties in a twist, what really made people angry, is this comment here.
Steven, talk about money. Yeah, what's this price?
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it.
Everybody and anybody can afford it. But yeah, it's not like anybody's feeling the strains of inflation or anything like that. It's not like I had to eat the local homeless guy just to fucking live. Jokes aside though, I really think it was an out of touch thing to say, especially with these guys living the YouTuber life, I'm assuming. I mean, money really doesn't have an object to you when you're a YouTuber. But that comment honestly didn't hit me the wrong way. I mean, yeah, sure, it was an out of touch thing to say, but I wasn't like offended by it. The thing that caught me and my attention the most was the fact that they said,
we want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
When I first heard that, I did a little head tilt. In fact, I head tilted so hard I thought my neck was gonna snap. Most of you know this by now, I've said it a shit ton, but I worked in film. I've made a lot of shitty Hallmark movies, made a lot of random commercials. The highest credit to my name is assistant production manager. So, long story short, I know how much this shit costs. And let me just say, the math here is not mathing. I may have gotten a 50 in calculus in high school, but it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So I actually did a little breakdown here because I did like a little spitballing to see how much their productions would cost because I was just curious. And I went to Social Blade to see what their budget was. They're roughly making $368,000 per year from YouTube revenue alone. Now that is on the absolute lowest end of the scale. They've shot 78 videos over the year, and from the most part, I've gone through and looked, it looks like they're shooting from their studio. So I gave them a rough budget of $5,000 per video. If you factor in the cost of crew, post-production, feeding the crew, the estimated cost would be around $4,000 per video. I'm assuming the crew aren't unionized. They fucking shouldn't be for a production this small. So they are making roughly $1,000 per video, roughly. Now, obviously, you hear that number. You can't live off $1,000 per video. You know, 78 videos a year. What is that? 1,000 divided by 333 times, what was it, 78? That's 25 grand. Oh my God, voice crack. That's 25 grand a year, roughly. That's not enough to live on, especially with their studio being in Hollywood, California. Don't know why it's there, but hey, they're shooting there. But keep in mind, the calculations that I did were on the absolute lowest end of the scale. They were making less than me per 1,000 views, and let's be real, I'm a pretty fucking violent guy. So I'm not making that much in ad revenue. And that's just from YouTube ad revenue alone. They are making substantially more than what I just said. Now, the reason I say that is because one, they are probably making a much higher CPM than $2 every 1,000 views. I mean, I gave them the absolute bare minimum. Two, their videos are long form content, which if you don't know, they can jam a shit ton more ads into the video because they have 30 minutes to 40 minutes to do so. So they make a shit ton more per video. Three, they have sponsorships. So Moist Critical actually covered this point, but he estimated they would earn around $15,000 per sponsorship ad. And four, they have a Patreon, which has 13,000 people on it. And the lowest tier is $7.50 a month. So they are making 100 grand a month off their Patreon alone. Now, the reason I've given this whole breakdown here is because I just don't understand it. I mean, I don't have any problems with subscription-based content alone. I think subscription-based content is fine, as annoying as it is. But with what they're offering for $5 a month, which I'm assuming it's $5 American, and it's $5.99, which is $6, which if you translate $6 American to Canadian, that's $8 Canadian. So that's already the same price as Netflix, I believe. And with them claiming that they need that money in order to continue doing what they do, I don't know, man, that just rubs me the wrong way. Because if they need more money like they say they do, they are being unbelievably mismanaged, man. It should not cost that much to produce what they do. And if it isn't mismanagement, and if they're fine, and that was only kind of a get out of jail free card in order to kind of give reason as to why they're doing what they're doing, then it's greed. Those are the only two options. They're either being mismanaged or they are being greedy. Now, they actually made an apology video because of this shitstorm they were catching this weekend, and I actually wanted to watch it with you guys for the first time because I was curious what they would say. So let's check it out, shall we?
You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch, becoming members of our Patreon.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of the live shows and merch. How could they possibly need money? Oh my god, they are making so much more money than I estimated. Holy shit.
With that in mind, we're making some changes to ensure that there's a way for our community to continue watching our content for free.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free.
That's the way they should have done it. I mean, I think there's two successful ways you can go about running a subscription-based platform or making that jump from YouTube to a subscription-based platform. And that's one, what they just said, or two, if you go to the I can't fucking talk. Two, if you go to the subscription-based platform and you post kind of a very cut-down version of what you're making on YouTube, that's another way you could do it. But yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with their original plan. I mean, they would have lost all their promotion essentially too.
However, we were finding it harder and harder to stay relevant to advertisers and the constantly changing YouTube landscape. We faced some incredibly challenging decisions. We didn't want to compromise our content to ensure they met advertising requirements. And we definitely did not want to lay people off that have brought Watcher to life behind the scenes. And we didn't want to bring Watcher to a close.
Well, man, I mean, laying people off is part of a business, right? If you're not making money, then you can't keep employees and stuff that's making you not able to make money around. That's just not, I don't know, man. That's just not great business sense. I respect what they're trying to do. I respect what they're trying to achieve, and you know, they want to keep everybody around that's brought them the success that they have, but yeah, sometimes you got to make a tough choice. Rooster Teeth is a perfect example of that. I mean, how many layoffs did they have throughout the years?
We overlooked the way it would impact all of you. We hope you'll be patient with us through these mistakes, and we remain incredibly sorry that they were made in the first place.
That, I thought, was a decent apology. I mean, that's how they should have done it in the beginning. I think they kind of missed the mark a lot with their original plan, clearly. I mean, everybody had a problem with it. But that was ultimately a good response. If they are still hemorrhaging money like they say they are, I think they severely need to gut their management, and that's not a two, and cut their losses and lay off some employees. It's obviously the hard thing to do, but I just think that's the only way, man. Like, you gotta make that hard decision sometimes. That's just running a business for you. Anyway, I do think this whole drama here was kind of overblown. I looked at some responses on Twitter, and as Twitter does, they were acting like Watcher and their guys had just like fucking Sudoku punched God and like ripped his heart out and ate it or something like that. So I don't know what the whole big deal was. I don't know why they were so angry. I mean, I get being frustrated that they're being greedy, or maybe mismanaged is another way to say it, but I don't get the whole uprise about it. I thought that was kind of overblown. But overall, it seems like they've kind of learned their lesson and they're going to try and do better forward. I think their whole response to it, the change and kind of stepping back with the changes they were originally going to make, is ultimately good. So with that being said, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought I'd have a unique perspective on it. And I'll see you guys very soon.